The hope of heaven has carried people for thousands of years. A real place of peace, where we will be with God, where Jesus is preparing a place for us. That promise has shaped prayers, carried grief, and given courage in the face of death. Paradise is not a metaphor, it is a promise. But Scripture hints that heaven was never meant to be the end of the story. That the world God created was always meant to be healed, restored, and reunited with His presence. And to understand why paradise is greater than we imagine, we have to return to the beginning. Many of us grow up assuming the Bible tells a simple story: live a good life, believe the right things, go to heaven when you die. And without realizing it, earth becomes something temporary, something disposable, something we're meant to escape. Faith becomes about leaving this world behind, rather than understanding why God made it in the first place. But when we slow down and read the story carefully, that assumption begins to crack, because the Bible doesn't start in heaven, it starts on earth. One of the most common phrases Jesus used was the kingdom of heaven. But that phrase doesn't mean a place you go when you die. In Scripture, a kingdom isn't a location, it's a reign, a rule, a reality where a king's will is done. When Jesus says the kingdom of heaven is near, He isn't talking about distance. He's talking about presence, God's authority breaking into the world, God's order restoring what was broken, God's life pressing back against decay. The kingdom isn't about escape, it's about arrival. The Bible opens with a world called very good, not because it was finished, but because it was ordered. Eden wasn't just a garden, it was a meeting place, heaven and earth overlapping, God dwelling with humanity, humanity given purpose, not just pleasure. Adam and Eve aren't idle, they're called to cultivate, to guard, to expand life outward. Eden wasn't the goal, it was the beginning, a pattern of what creation was meant to become under God's presence. When sin enters the story, the problem isn't that matter becomes evil. The problem is separation. Humanity is exiled from God's presence. Heaven and earth pull apart. The world becomes disordered. But notice what God does not do. He does not abandon creation. He does not erase the earth. He does not scrap the plan. Instead, the rest of Scripture becomes a rescue mission, not to destroy the world, but to restore it. Jesus doesn't arrive preaching escape. He says the kingdom of heaven is at hand. In His life, heaven and earth overlap again. The blind see, the sick are healed, the outcast are restored. Jesus doesn't pull people out of the world. He brings God's life into it. In His resurrection, He doesn't leave His body behind. He redeems it. Jesus is not the exit from creation. He is the beginning of its renewal. The Bible does not end with souls floating away. It ends with resurrection, with heaven and earth reunited, with God dwelling among humanity again. Heaven does not disappear, and earth is not discarded. Paradise becomes more real, more embodied, more alive than we ever imagined. What was promised after death expands into a restored creation where God's presence fills everything. This is not a smaller hope, it is a greater one. What we believe about the future shapes how we live in the present. If this world is disposable, then love becomes shallow. But if God intends to restore creation, then what we do here matters. Justice matters. Care matters. Faithfulness matters. We are not waiting for escape. We are learning to live as citizens of a coming kingdom. The story of the Bible has always been about union. God with humanity, heaven and earth together, creation made whole. Heaven is not lost, earth is not forgotten. The story ends where it always meant to go. God dwelling with his people, paradise fulfilled.